One of the marks of a high-performing timepiece could be considered its application in scenarios that require precision or other demanding criteria. The Panerai family enjoyed a successful relationship with the Italian Navy, designing many instruments for a range of applications. This ranged from vessel instruments to watches for a variety of personnel. As the Italian Royal Navy had been supplied such precision instruments for years, a further development was required. A collaborative relationship resulted in the creation of radiomere, a high-luminescent compound comprising of radium paste. Some 20 years later, a military program was devised that required new equipment, including high-strength diving watches. Combining the use of radiomere and the base model Rolex, the Panerai developed and modified Ref 2533 was created. 5 years later, the Ref 3646 was created. This is more commonly known as the radiomere watch. Modern-day radiomere watches share many of the original's features, such as the large 47mm cushion-shaped steel case, luminescent numerals and indexes, wire lugs welded to the case, a high-quality manual mechanical movement, a pocket watch-derived Cortebet Rolex 618 caliber and a tanned, water-resistant leather strap that was long enough to be worn over protective clothing. This model also saw the use of overlapping discs, one for the detailing, with a luminescent dial underneath also referred to as sandwich dials. Further improvements to the visibility were made, such as 4 large Arabic numerals and 8 other indexes at the hour markers. As many watch visuals relied on the use of atomic materials to create luminescence, caution was required when relating to the public. As such, Panerai patented the term lumina in 1949 and developed the luminescent materials, further resulting in a tritium-based substance that was associated with much less harmful emissions. The lumina name is also most commonly associated with the Panerai diving watches, and is characterized by the protection bridge covering the crown. A rare example of Panerai creating watch models for different personnel can be seen in the Mare Nostrum, a twin-counter chronograph that was designed specifically for deck officers. It is thought that only a few were ever produced, and all that remains is a prototype and photographs. By the mid-1950s, underwater operations were becoming ever more advanced. The demands discovered for wartime application included extended periods of time in extreme conditions while being submerged. The Ref 6152 and Ref 6154 employed many innovations that have inspired modern-day models, such as the screw-down winding crown, and in the case of the Ref 6152-1, the lugs were made from the same steel block as the actual case. By this time, Panerai's reputation was growing worldwide. The Egyptian Navy was supplied with the diving watch GPF2-56. A large 60mm case, a graduated rotating bezel to calculate diving time, and a Swiss-made Angelus caliber that boasted an 8-day power reserve. This was also the first model to include application of the crown protection device as part of the structure. During the 1960s, the Lumina watch, Ref 6152-1 developed further. Some 80 units utilized a different movement, the Swiss-made Angelus SF240, boasting an 8-day power reserve. This power reserve became part of the USP for Panerai. Some models utilized plexiglass on both the front and back, making Panerai one of the pioneers in skeleton watches. The 1970s, however, saw a transition, as due to the passing of Giuseppe Panerai, the Panerai company was taken over by a former Italian Navy officer, Dino Zay. The company remained productive and in the mid-1980s developed their Lumina diving watch further. The 47mm watch case material was now made from titanium, and could withstand more than 100 atmospheres of pressure. It was given the name, millimetry. Most of Panerai's business came from the military sectors, but due to the global economic issues of the 1990s, the decision was made to venture into the civilian watch market. Panerai launched 3 different collections: the 44mm Lumina and Lumina Marina, and the 42mm Mare Nostrum chronograph, all drawing inspiration from the Underwater Commandos division of the Italian Navy. Panerai's watches became very popular with prices that attracted the wealthy and famous. Sylvester Stallone was one such customer, and furthered his relationship with the company by commissioning a model specifically to be worn in his 1996 action movie, Daylight. As a result, the Lumina Slytech was released as a special edition. In the late 1990s, Panerai were acquired by new owners, the Richemont Group, who owned such brands as IWC Schaffhausen and Cartier. The aim being to place Panerai models in a wider market. The three models in the range were revised slightly, more so the Mare Nostrum with a narrower bezel. The resulting publicity reaffirmed Panerai as a serious player in the luxury sport watch market. To celebrate this success, a re-edition of the first Panerai is produced in a limited run of 60 pieces. Each watch was made of platinum and came with the original period Rolex movement. The 2000s saw the focus shift to advertising and marketing of the brand, with a link to legacy and accessibility to previously unexplored global markets, such as the Far East. In addition, Panerai's innovation ethos remained, and in 2005 they launched their first in-house movement. The P2002 was a Swiss-made, hand-wound caliber with GMT function and the famous 8-day power reserve. Panerai went on to create additional movements in 2007, the P2003, P2004, and the P2005. The P2005 was unique in that compared to other tourbillons, the addition to the watch mechanics that aids in improved accuracy, usually a rotation every minute. The P2005 tourbillon completes a rotation every 30 seconds, thus improving accuracy even further. Further movements were developed in the next year. The P9000 increased the power reserve to 72 hours, and the P2006 included a split-second function. Panerai's model base enjoyed some unique special editions during the early 2010s. The Panerai Jupiterium pays homage to Galileo, utilizing the newly launched P999 movement. The watch features a perpetual calendar that determines the exact date, day, month and year without the need for manual regulation, even in leap years. It also boasts a 40-day power reserve. The price for this exclusive watch was $2 million. Panerai also launched the Lumina Submersible 1950, 3 days automatic bronzo, utilizing the P3000 new in-house caliber. The focus of this piece being the application of bronze as a case material. Re-editions of the Radiomir model are also released, with revisions to the glass, this time using plexiglass. Further advancements in movement technology are also released. The P9100, an automatic movement with chronograph flyback, the P9100R, utilizing a regatta countdown, and the P5000, a new hand-wound movement with 8-day power reserve. Upon opening their new Switzerland-based manufacturing plant, Panerai also launched their P4000 movement, an automatic movement that, because of the rotor placement, it is much thinner than other movements. The P1000 movement is also developed within 12 months, reducing this thickness even further. 2016 sees the launch of subjectively Panerai's most complicated watch, the Radiomir 1940-minute repeater Carillon Tourbillon. The uniqueness of this watch is in the ability to chime through the sophisticated application of gongs and hammers. 2017 witnesses the application of carbon-based technology to watchmaking. The submersible BMG Tech 47mm and the Lumina Lab ID Carbotech 49mm demonstrate models made from carbon. The watches are offered with a 50-year guarantee. In 2018, Panerai presents two innovations. The low-C Enziato Lumina Tourbillon GMT, of which based around a 3D printed titanium case, and the P2005-T skeleton movement. And the La Astronomo Lumina 1950 Tourbillon Moon Phases Equation of Time GMT. This is a Lumina based with moon phase indication and a polarized crystal that indicates the date. In 2020, Panerai launches the patented Lumina Marina 44mm, guaranteed for 70 years. Greater luminosity is provided in this model, and the focus is simplicity. Special editions are offered due to a partnership with the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli team.